the AstoundCast, episode 98.
We're that close already.
Yep. So, let's start this one off, as we always do. How has your week been?
Still quite busy, yeah. Trying to get everything ready for uni, making sure that everything's set up for that. And then Wednesday to Friday was just nothing but games. And then
Fair enough.
And of course Pokemon has been happening too. So it's a case of I've been doing the DLC for that.
Yeah. And I will come to that in a little bit.
Yeah, as you can see, it's not the typical sort of stuff I'm doing this stream. I just decided I needed to play Pokemon, so why not do a really bad setup and do it like this?
Well, it worked.
Yeah, you're not going to see the colors too well from how this is looking, but it is not so bad.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, it looks pretty okay.
You're at least able to see what's going on. Again, my camera isn't the best for recording, and plus it's a darker room, so of course it's going to be a bit off. But apart from that, it'll do what it needs to.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Too bad. How about your week? How about your week then?
Weird, really.
How so?
Well, I went out with a couple of friends shopping on Wednesday night, I think it was. Yes, Wednesday. Turns out my virtual appointment with the hydrocephalus nurse specialist was on Thursday as well, so that was a nice surprise.
Okay.
Nothing much really came of that, to be honest. It was literally just a phone call, so just a quick check-in to make sure I'm not dead.
Well, at least they've confirmed this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, still here. I'm good.
We're all glad.
So yeah, that happened. And honestly, not much else. It's just been a bit of a mid-week, really.
It happens.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we move on to this week's motorsports section?
Yeah, we might as well. You seem excited.
Red Bull's win streak has been broken.
Oh my god.
It's happened. The universe has shattered. Yeah. Because this race was won for the first time in about a year by Ferrari.
Wow.
Ferrari didn't Ferrari this weekend. If anything, they kind of Red Bulled because, oh my god, they were on fire. There was definitely a few teams who had some good and some not so good races. Like Mercedes, for example, had an absolutely stellar race until the last few seconds of the last lap when George Russell crashed out of third place.
That's not so good.
No. Thankfully, though, Lewis Hamilton and the other Mercedes took his place.
Oh, yeah.
So that's barely a bonus, but it's a bonus nonetheless. As I said, Ferrari had an amazing race, scoring a 1-5, I think. They didn't get the 1-2. Second place actually went to McLaren's Lando Norris, just missing out on his maiden win again. And oh my god, Aston Martin. Very much what's the word? Emphasizing the of the Aston Martin.
That's a fun one.
Disaster. Complete disaster for both drivers, frankly.
Oh.
Hell, one driver didn't even race.
Oh.
Yesterday in qualifying in Q1, Lance Stroll had a humongous crash at the very end.
That's not good.
Would you like to hear the damage?
Please tell me.
Front and rear wings were ripped off.
Ooh.
Front right tire just flew off into the sunset. And the right sideboard completely caved in.
That's not so good.
No, the worst part of it was that they were showing the onboard camera at the time.
That's also not so good.
Yeah, we saw it from basically Lance Stroll's perspective as it was happening. Yeah, it was not great.
It doesn't
But
seem like it.
no, but I do have to talk about the other Aston Martin.
Oh.
Pain. Just pain. Right. Coming into the pit lane, Fernando Alonso understeered out of the pit lane and had to go back in. That isn't allowed, so we ended up getting a 5-second time penalty. Right?
Yeah.
It gets worse. When he came into the pits to serve said 5-second penalty, there was a little bit of a problem. The jacks to lift up his car weren't working properly. So his potential 8-second stop, that, accounting for the actual pit stop and the 5 seconds where you can't touch the car,
Yeah.
ended up turning into a 25-second pit stop.
That's not so good.
25 seconds. It was bad. It was really, really, really bad.
It sounds it.
And then we have the other drivers who didn't finish the race, because yes, there were a few of them.
Oh boy.
Yuki Tsunoda retired with a puncture on lap 1, so that was him out of the race. And then Valtteri Bottas had a hydraulics issue, I think, with the gearbox. And then Esteban Ocon, whose birthday it is, by the way, had also a hydraulics issue with his gearbox. Alex Albon had an engine failure. It was a bit of a disaster.
Sounds it.
Yeah, not good. Yeah, so it was a bit of a weird race. Gotta be honest. Nothing like as I said on the stream, I literally had no idea of what was going to happen. Because those Red Bulls were way out of position in 11th and 13th on the grid. So I was completely lost.
Well, figured it out.
Yeah. But honestly, very weird race. Probably one of the most entertaining of the season. Because unlike, the rest of it, the top 5 was separated by, I think, the top 4 was separated by 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Considering that usually the top 2 are covered by about 30 seconds of a gap, it was a bit of a nice change.
Well, it's not so bad.
Yeah, so it was a very interesting race. Again, probably one of my top races of the season. But again, I just want to reiterate this now, just in case no one saw this earlier. I won't be covering Japan next week.
It's too early in the morning. Gotta think about your health.
That's exactly what I said on the F1 stream. But if you didn't catch it there, please catch it here now. I will not be going live for Japan.
Unless you go to Japan.
Which I would absolutely adore, but not a chance in hell. Not going to happen. However, I am gutted because there are 2 things that I would like to cover at least. Well, for one, both... Oh yeah, by the way, Red Bull didn't wrap up the Constructors' Championship today because of their finishing positions.
They didn't?
No, they couldn't get it done.
Oh.
Yeah. So that will instead roll over to next week. But that also means that Max could wrap up the drivers and Red Bull could wrap up the constructors on the same day.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be very big as well. I don't think that's happened for a few years now. But the other big thing that's happening next weekend is Sebastian Vettel is going to be there.
Ooh.
And he's apparently making a very big announcement.
That could be a really good thing or a really bad thing.
I'm going to make up a quote now that I'm almost convinced he's going to say next weekend.
Yep.
I hereby announce my return to Formula One in the 2024 season. I'm calling it now. It's going to happen. He has been more involved in F1 since he's retired than he was when he wasn't retired. He's been doing loads of stuff. So, frankly, I think he's regretting retiring. And he may have found himself a seat somewhere. So,
for him.
Yeah. Considering that it's apparently a big announcement, that's the only thing I could see it being, really. We know Seb's missing F1. He's made no secret of that. And he actually did an interview with Martin Brundle while he was at the Nürburgring a few weeks ago. And Martin said, do you think he'll ever return? Do you think this is it for you in F1? And Seb said, well, I can't say no because it might not be.
Ooh.
And I translated that as, no, it is absolutely not the end of my Formula One career. I am coming back.
Yeah, that's an interpretation.
Yeah. Is that partially wishful thinking? Absolutely. Because I would love Sebastian Vettel back. Oh my god. But also, I do think it is coming, realistically.
Yeah.
Is it going to be next year? I'd hope so. It could very well be next year. However, following in the footsteps of his idol, Michael Schumacher, when he went to Mercedes as a German driver, I think Sebastian Vettel could come in to the other new German team joining Formula One in 2026, Audi.
Ooh.
Yeah. And considering the supposed pre-agreement between Audi and Carlos Sainz, Vettel and Sainz could be a damn interesting combo.
I see your point there.
Obviously, both have raced for Ferrari. Hell, actually, Carlos Sainz replaced Sebastian Vettel at Ferrari.
Damn.
And I think that could be an interesting combo. We know Carlos Sainz is still a vet. He is an experienced driver at this point, but he has nowhere near the level of experience that Sebastian Vettel does.
Yeah.
That man has 4 world championships to his name. Started in 2007 as a reserve driver who scored points on his debut as a reserve, can I just say? He was filling in for Kubica, and I think it was either Williams or Sauber, I don't remember. They were both powered by BMWs, had similar looking cars, so it was pretty hard to tell them apart. He was filling in for Robert Kubica at either Williams or Sauber, and he got points on his debut. And yeah, so I think Carlos Sainz and Sebastian Vettel would be a damn good combo for Audi. Because as I said, when Mercedes started up, they of course got 2 German drivers, Nico Rosberg and the aforementioned Michael Schumacher. So I think Seb will either return somehow in some seat next year, or he'll return with Audi in 2026.
Yeah.
So that's obviously very big. If either of those things are true, which I think they are, I'd be very surprised if not. So yeah, I'm gonna be gutted to not be covering Japan because wrapping up the constructors and the drivers on the same day, as well as a very big announcement from Sebastian Vettel, is gonna be something big to miss probably. But you can guarantee I'll be talking about it on the AstoundCast later that evening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will absolutely be covering whatever happens with Seb. Because,
Of course.
yeah, so that's kind of it for this week's motorsport section. So yeah, Red Bull could wrap up the constructors next week, as well as Max wrapping up the drivers next week.
That'll be pretty interesting.
So, yeah, so that's it for this week's motorsport section. Now, moving on to entertainment. And well, firstly, I'm actually going to talk about something that I've not talked about for a while, because I wasn't sure if I was allowed to, but I think I am. Doctor Who.
Ooh.
Doctor Who. They released a new teaser yesterday for the 60th anniversary specials.
Yeah.
And there was a load of binary code.
Has it been translated yet?
Yes, it has.
Ooh.
And it said, BBC One, Saturday the 23rd of September, 6:13, which people have interpreted as, yeah, there's going to be a trailer, 6:15 next Saturday.
What a time.
Which I'm led to believe is just before Strictly Come Dancing starts.
That also makes a lot of sense.
Yes, however, I have no idea because I don't watch Strictly Come Dancing. But if that is the case, that is a.
Yep.
Because Strictly is one of the biggest shows on CBBC. No, on BBC One, not CBBC. Jesus. Bleh. Oh, well done, Cameron. You messed that one up.
Ah, yes, my
But-
favorite children's program, Strictly Come Dancing.
I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up on there someday.
They probably have like a junior version.
Yeah, more than likely. But yeah, so that's going to be very big. And I'm expecting this time it is a full-blown trailer. Because from next Saturday, we're exactly 2 months away from the 60th anniversary.
Ooh.
Like, Saturday the 23rd of September, the anniversary is the 23rd of November.
Nice.
And a lot of people are now starting to theorize how the episodes are going to be releasing. It's been a bit of an argument between weekly and daily.
What would you prefer?
I don't know. Because, fun fact, this is the first anniversary in Doctor Who that the celebration has gone over multiple episodes.
Alright.
Like, for example, the 10th anniversary, the Three Doctors, one episode. The 20th anniversary, the Four Doctors. When was the next anniversary? Oh my god, there was not another anniversary until the Day of the Doctor for the 50th. The Day of the Doctor, one episode. But this one will be 3. So, I don't know. I really don't know which I'd want more. So, because obviously all 3 episodes are going to be directly connected to each other. So, yeah, so there's like 3 counts on how this is going to go, right? It's either going to go 21st, 22nd, 23rd of November, the last one being on the anniversary, or the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, the first one being on the anniversary, or let me check the weekly dates. That'll be the 23rd. Hang on, Sorry, 1 second. Where's November?
November doesn't exist anymore.
The 23rd, 30th of November, and the 7th of December.
Right.
So there's 3 camps on how this could go, and yeah, I'm not sure. I really don't know how I'd want this to go. And I still don't have any idea this character, because yes, Neil Patrick Harris is in this. He will be the Celestial Toymaker, who is a villain not seen since the first Doctor.
Oh.
Which is somewhere, well, I don't know when he was around, but that places him between 1963 and 65.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Been a long time, yeah. So we pretty much know it's going to be the Celestial Toymaker. That's a given. We know the new character called Rose is Donna's daughter, who we know she somehow named her after Rose Tyler, but we don't know how because, of course, when she left the Doctor, her memories were wiped, so she wouldn't remember Rose.
Makes a lot of sense.
But unfortunately, it really doesn't, because how would she have named her Rose without remembering Rose?
To be fair, Rose isn't a nice name anyway.
Oh, true, but let's face it, there is no way Russell T Davies has just said, yeah, let's call this companion's daughter the name of another companion that I also wrote for.
No, that's exactly how that sounds.
Is it? Is it though?
Let's just reuse the same material.
But yeah, there's a lot of questions. Also surrounding the TARDIS as well, because I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Like, we know it's not going to be the 13th Doctor's TARDIS, but is it going to be a separate TARDIS for the 14th Doctor and then a new one for the 15th, or is it going to be the same TARDIS for the 15th Doctor? Because a lot of Doctors throughout history have shared the same TARDIS design.
Yeah.
Namely, the 9th and the 10th Doctor, as well as the 11th and 12th. And for the most part, a lot of the classic Doctors. Granted, back then they had some minor changes between TARDIS interiors, but when the major differences started coming in was in the new era, so like 2005 onwards. So I don't know how they're going to do this. Like, I've heard one theory which I thought was quite interesting. The second episode of the specials is called The Wild Blue Yonder. And some people are thinking it's going to be relating to the TARDIS in some way. And maybe, and one theory I've heard is, like, at the start of the episode it's going to disappear, and then at the end it's going to reappear with a new interior.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so we know almost nothing at this point. Hopefully, by next weekend we'll have a bit more information with the new trailer.
Hoping so.
Hopefully. Yeah. Anyway, that's my Doctor Who bit done. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we?
There's an elephant?
Pokemon. The Seal Map. How is it?
Well, first of all, I'm facing a sizzle that looks nothing like an elephant, thank you. Second of all, the DLC was pretty good for the first part.
Oh?
Because again, it's not released both parts yet, it's just released Teal Mouse.
Of course. Yeah.
Also, I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, what have I done?
Well, first of all, a couple of your Pokemon pronunciations. Second of all, something
Okay.
that you should have ran by me properly before you did the video, after because I only noticed
Oh,
while I was editing, was that you just listed all the Pokemon without at least considering what Pokemon would be version exclusive.
oh no.
Because right now there are 3 Pokemon I can't get because they are version exclusive, and
Oh, you're joking.
nope. So Gliscor and Gligar, those two, and Cramorant, those 3 are locked to Pokemon Scarlet. While
Oh,
Pokemon Violet gets Apom, Ambipom, and Morpeko.
yep.
So yeah,
Ah,
I
right.
have I have to find a way of getting all those Pokemon, well, those 3 Pokemon into my game. Cramorant's easier because I can just try and find somebody who's doing a raid dungeon at the moment.
Mhm,
But getting a Gligar or a Gliscor is going to be the issue because I can probably get a Gliscor raid dungeon if somebody doesn't
mhm.
like it. But if I were to get my own Gligar, I can't evolve it unless I also trade with somebody.
Oh,
And actually trying to connect with people to trade on this game is a bit weird because yeah, you can set up like a trade room and do it like that. But
mhm.
got the issue of you need to make sure that the other person has the Pokemon you need. You have to use an item in order to evolve them. Like quite a few of the Pokemon in this one do require either trade evolutions or trade evolutions, trade evolution with items, or an item evolution. Which,
Right.
yeah, because we have the internet, it's great, but it's not so great if you are usually set on just trying to get stuff done yourself. E.g., me.
Apologies. Situation. The website I had listed, but the website I had used did not cite the whole exclusive thing. I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, there's always going to
Right,
be version exclusives if there's going to be 2 games. So
right.
it's your fault. It's a case of next time just run it. You need to like
Yeah,
say this is where my source is. Double check this
yeah,
for me. I will double check what it's listing because then
yeah,
you can run it by.
yeah. I can't lie.
Because
I did check a few websites, and I didn't see anything about version exclusive. So, uh, well, that's annoying.
yeah, so I've got a. But apart from that, the DLC's been pretty good. The story for it was quite sweet,
Yeah.
for the most part. Uh, the Pokemon that they've given us in this has been pretty cool. Like for example, I have a Chandelure as part of my party that I nicknamed Bright Light
Wow.
because it's bright light, bright light. I need to change
Yeah.
his terror typing though because I don't really want it to be grass type. I also
Ah.
am trying to raise up my Pebble,
Hmm.
which is a carbink. Look at him. Look at him. I'm trying to do that to try to raise it so it doesn't die to a one shot from a Mewtwo.
Yeah, that's understandable.
There's an event at the moment where you can get a Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon that they've added. Probopass, Basculegion, Trevenant, Munchlax and Snorlax.
A.
Uh, my son. I I like nicknaming Pokemon, so I have nicknamed Phantom my son.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot, picking up from last week slightly,
Yeah.
I didn't actually get a chance to tell you why I would recommend getting Pokemon Go.
Please tell me then.
Daryl Le- Daryl Lechonk.
Yeah, you caught a freaking shiny one. What? Oh you sod.
But no, seriously, if you like Lechonk, because I know you do, they are everywhere. If you wanted, your entire Pokemon storage could be just Lechonks.
Which is great.
Like, seriously, there's that many.
Don't worry, I'm just on my legit my shiny box right now because I do have some shinies on here.
Ah, fair enough.
So
Oh,
Clotter, Luxray's shiny is quite cool.
yeah, Luxray. Apparently gonna be playing a very big part in Detective Pikachu Returns.
Doug Trio's shiny is only its nose being blue, which you can't really see
Huh.
on it. Mudsdale, it just looks like an orange horse. Lycan Rock, it all depends on if it evolved
The
from a if it evolved from a Rockruff, then you can choose between day form and night form. I just caught this Lycan Rock as it is.
yeah.
I also caught a shiny Muck. And oh yeah, and Beefcake, which is my shiny Wigglytuff. But shiny Wigglytuff doesn't look too dissimilar from normal Wigglytuff. It's just a slightly different shade of pink.
Oh.
Which again, you can't tell from my camera because it's a case of bright LED screen showing onto something. You're not going to see it.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
I do. But I also have hacked shinies because in the Wonder Trade sometimes there are people from like different websites giving out Pokemon, and
Ah.
it'll just give. Except for the Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl's just the event Pokemon that for some reason I managed to get as like a shiny. I don't know.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there's a good variety of Pokemon that are good for teams and such here.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some good gift Pokemon too. I am just going to give spoilers. So,
Okay.
1 second. So, legendary Pokemon that you can get from this. So, you can get Orgapon, which is adorable and starts as grass, but it gives you 3 items to change its typing. So, it's kind of like Arceus, where you give it a plate, it changes its type.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Ooh.
Kecleon, you hit it with a certain type, then it changes to that temporarily. Then you have the 3, so Monkey Dory,
Mm-hmm.
the loyal 3. Monkey Dory, Poison Psychic, pain, not a big pain in the ass to defeat, but it's still pretty tricky. Okidogi, Poison Fighting, actually pretty easy if you have a flying type on your team.
Okay.
The issue I had was Pheasantipity, because it's Poison Fairy, but it can fly.
Oh.
You think wings equal flying type?
No.
This one gave me the most trouble because it wouldn't stay in a freaking Pokeball.
Oh.
It broke out so many times. And then you can
Oh
also
dear.
get a modern day Ursaluna,
Ooh.
which if you've seen Ursaluna from Pokemon Arceus, you definitely know that it looks like one, but it doesn't act like one. But it has
Ah,
the
fair enough.
typings as it.
Mm-hmm.
And also a move that is 140 power.
Yikes.
Use Calm Mind, that thing increases. But the thing is, it's kind of like a it's kind of similar to what was it? What was the move? What was the move? Not Flash Cannon, like not Giga Impact either. Damn it. There is a move where if you use it, it makes you recharge for a turn. Okay, an easier example is Solar Beam, where you have to wait a turn before you can use it, unless you have
Yeah.
any day. But this, it's you have to use it, and then you can't use it twice in a row, which
Okay.
is more broken than you might think. Because yes, it has 5 PP, but
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, it makes you stop for a turn where you can't do anything. Like if a Pokemon had Truant, no, you can do
Yeah.
something on your next turn.
Oh.
So it could be you use Calm Mind, you use Blood Moon, which would already be more powered up. None of your stats decrease, so you use Calm Mind again before you use Blood Moon again.
Ooh.
And this thing is already tanky with defenses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a case of if you're facing something that is prominently physical attacker, it can
Yeah.
tank those hits and then dish it out double,
Okay.
which hurts.
Yeah.
As part of extra Pokemon that you can get in this version, you can get Hisuian Growlithe.
Ooh.
So Hisuian Growlithe will evolve into Hisuian Arcanine, and the difference between normal and Hisuian is that it's fire rock versus it being normally rock. I do believe you can evolve this using a fire as well. So it's not. So it's the same as like a normal.
Yeah.
But you also, depending on what Pokemon you chose at the beginning of your playthrough of Pokemon Scarlet or Violet, you can also get an egg from what is considered the Pokemon professor of the game, and you can get a Sinnoh starter.
On our way.
From my starter, I ended up getting a Turtwig.
And what were the other starters for Sinnoh?
Starters for Sinnoh include Piplup, which I luckily got from a Wonder Trade. So I just
Yeah.
need to get the final one, which is a Chimchar.
Okay.
And speaking of trades, I've saved, because I knew what starter you were going to get anyway. I've saved you a Charmander, I've got you a
Thank
Quaxly,
you.
and I've got you a Sprigatito.
Oh, you're a star.
And if you're that bothered, I can breed a Munchlax, and you can have a Munchlax from stage 1.
Oh, you are an absolute legend.
Because I'm not giving you a level 17 Munchlax. There is no way in hell.
That's fair.
So I
'Cause,
can
like-
breed you a Munchlax. You can evolve that into a Snorlax in your own time.
Thank you. And you know, because I know how.
Yeah. Or because Snorlax can't breed unless I give it a Lax Incense in order to get a Munchlax. It's either I give you a Snorlax from the get-go, or I give you a Munchlax. It's up to you.
I will genuinely take either.
I'll just breed you a Munchlax, and it's more fun to evolve it.
Thank you. And I know how much of a pain Charmander is to get.
Yeah, it was just lucky I found it during Wonder Trades. Speaking of Wonder Trades,
Yeah. And I'm guessing Squirtle, Lucario were easy to get, and Pikachu.
I can get you Pikachu. Pikachu's very much easy to get in your game. Riolu not that hard to find in your game either. I will get the Pokedex stuff in a minute.
Okay.
Quickly trade over a Chinese bundle. Actually, no, I need to keep that one. Yeah, I currently have a box full of keys. So I have a house key, I have a lost key, I have a shared key, a work key, them keys. I've got car keys, keys, new keys, old keys, keys to the city. Got toy keys. Don't worry, there's more.
Why are there so many keys?
Got a padlock key, got an off key. That's Jingle.
Okay.
Keys, key.
Right. Really bad joke incoming. I know this game is called Pokemon, but what the hell?
Pokemon.
Pokemon. I know it's called Pokemon. What the hell? There's so many keys!
It's Pokemon now.
There's so many keys! Why?
Their keys, those keys, whose keys?
There's-
Keychain, key ring, just keys, master keys, music keys, Allen key, gate key. Not my keys. Those ones definitely aren't my keys. Dem keys and a backdoor key. I've already traded off your keys. Your keys, not your key. Or not my key. Yeah, not your key. House key, definitely. But what I do keep, because I was trying to breed Klefki, so these are my keys.
Right.
My keys are staying in the party.
Wait, no. Right, no. Hold the hell on. Is that what these keys are used for?
I just wanted to get one that could at least do stuff. Well, not do stuff.
Wait.
I wanted to get one with better IVs on it, so I could
Is that
use it for my party.
is that seriously what these keys are for?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Those are just my breeding. Those are my breeding attempts, and now my breeding attempts are over. I've got keys to trade. I've got keys to people. So I'm trading.
Okay. Okay, don't get me wrong. I knew this Pokemon existed.
Yes,
But what?
Yes.
I guess the game really wants you to make this Pokemon.
No. I bred them.
Okay.
I bred all these keys. They just didn't have the stats I wanted. So I decided that I was doing a funny thing and just named them all before I traded them.
That makes sense. Okay.
Everyone's just gonna get a different set of keys.
Oh god, okay.
And I'm just giving them Pokemon back, which is fine. I've got a lot of keys.
I can tell.
Which is why the one that I kept, I called my keys.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then the next ones I had, I called them not my keys.
Anyway.
Yeah, it just escalated from there.
Yeah. Okay. Well then. Right. Shall we quickly brush over the stuff that talked about in this week's Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, sure.
There was a few things. Well, actually, no, there's quite a few things. Okay, so they started off with something that we had kind of seen coming, Mario versus Donkey Kong, which I've got to say did look really good.
It looked better than the 3DS. Not 3DS, better than the version.
Yeah, and then we got some more information about Super Mario RPG remake. And then we got some more information.
I just got a hacked shiny.
Huh. What is it?
It's a hacked shiny Quaquavel. So
nice.
Final evolution of my starter.
Okay. And then we got some more information on WarioWare Move It.
Nice.
And then some more information on Detective Pikachu Returns. And then, as well, some more information on the final wave of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass.
How you find that?
Looked pretty interesting, I've got to be honest. Not too much was given away, really. They just kind of announced it was coming, more or less. They did announce the new characters, which I'm going to try to remember now. There was Peachette.
Oh, they've given back the crown again.
Yeah, they've brought back Diddy and Funky Kong. As well as Pauline.
Ooh, Pauline riding.
Yeah. They didn't really announce many of the tracks, though I can't remember what they were, but all I can say is Mario Kart 9 when?
Yeah, good question. I think...
Like, come on, Nintendo. You've really wrapped Mario Kart 8 up here. Come on. Give us the next one.
they need to make new levels for it, so that's where the main issue lies.
Yeah, like, because it's been, well, next year it'll have been a whole decade. Which is kind of nuts to think about. Anyway, then after that, we got some information about a game called Unicorn Overlord, which looked pretty good, gotta be honest.
Look, the
And then
name
another...
the name is good enough for me.
Yeah, and then we got another very interesting looking game called Trombone Champ.
Because that's a good game on the PC anyway. It's hilarious. So
it looked very weird.
It's great, honestly. You should see some of the parodies people have made within the game's code.
Oh no.
You can play through the fire and the flames on a trombone. Ooh, another Charmander.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
And then we got a very big remaster announcement. The Tomb Raider trilogy.
Nice. Ooh, that's actually rare.
Good. And then we got another game called Dave the Diver, which, okay.
Also, really, it looks deceptive. It looks like it's just going to be another sort of like diving game and running stuff. It's actually a lot more in depth than you might believe.
Oh.
It's a good game.
Fair enough. And then we got another announcement for a game called Wargroove 2.
Not bad.
And then Horizon Chase 2, which looked pretty interesting.
That looks quite interesting.
And then a new Prince of Persia game called The Lost Crown, which, okay, never played Prince of Persia, but I know it was a very popular series back in the day.
The graphics for this one looked pretty good for a new game.
Yeah. And then, of course, was the new map announcement for Among Us.
Of course.
Which looked pretty cool, I can't lie. And then we had a new game in the saga. Emerald Beyond. I did not word that right.
It's fine.
And then we had another new game announcement called Bandle-Tale: A League of Legends story, which, okay, League of Legends, that's probably going to get a lot of attention drawn towards it.
It is, and I've seen it. I'm 50-50. I used to play League of Legends for a short while, and then I just couldn't. So it's gonna be either gonna hit really well or it's not.
And then we have another new game called Song of Nunu, another League of Legends story.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And then we got... Oh god. 1 second, please. Nope, we're good. Good. We avoided the sneeze. Also, if you're wearing headphones and I sneeze, be prepared. Anyway, there was another game announced called War Tales, which looked pretty interesting. And then Super Crazy Rhythm Castle, that looked wacky as hell.
Yes, rhythm games are always going to be wacky.
True. And then we had a new Contra game, or well, it's basically a remake of the original Contra called Operation Galuga, which, okay, pretty cool. We had another game called Battle Crush, as well as Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, and I think I've missed some. Hold on. Ah, yeah. Apologies, I missed a few. Whoops. Couple of big ones. Namely, I think it's a remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Yep, people have been excited for this, and it looks good.
I can tell. And then, of course, we got some more information and a new trailer for Princess Peach Showtime.
That looks a lot better than Super Mario Wonder, must admit.
What? Oh god. What did you say, sorry?
I said that looks better than Super Mario Wonder.
You know, I was going to say the exact same thing. Yeah, I'm still not over how disappointed I was in that Direct for Mario Bros. Wonder. Still not over it. And then we got a new Splatoon 3 expansion pack.
Also looked really cool with like the pastel.
It does. And then we had a new Battle Royale, F-Zero 99, which obviously is based off of the classic game F-Zero, which
Captain
look.
Falcon!
Hmm?
Captain Falcon came back to us!
Yep. And then finally we get to the DS and Wii remake, which really I wasn't expecting. A game series called Another Code Recollect.
Ooh.
So it was the first game was made for the DS. No, right, this is how I interpreted it. I think the first game was made for the Wii, and the second game for the DS or the 3DS. I don't remember. But they're bringing them both to the Switch in a collection, which is pretty cool. And the last one, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yes!
Yes! My boy Luigi.
Luigi getting games!
Ah. It's a shame it's not a new Luigi's Mansion, but hey, a remake will do. Well, a remaster.
True, I got to try when the third one came out, I managed to try the DLC. Well, not DLC. I managed to try the demo for that with Luigi.
Oh.
Because the demo came out at the same time as the demo for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Okay.
And I was at a Hyper Japan event which was hosting it, so
Okay.
So 17-year-old me had a good time on
that. Yeah, so that was all the stuff from the Nintendo Direct last week. Still kind of gutted to hear no announcement about Pokemon Red and Blue on the Switch.
Yeah, just wait.
Because 25th anniversary is next weekend. Come on, guys. Like, what are you waiting for?
More Pokemon games.
Yeah, that's fair. But I really do want to see at least one of the mainline Pokemon games on the Switch at some point soon, even if it isn't Gen 1.
Cam, you mean one of the previous ones, don't you? And even with that, yes, they're already on there. There is at least three separate mainline games. There is
oh my god,
Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield mainline game.
Scarlet and Violet
counts as that. And Brilliant Diamond
and
Shining Pearl.
Shining Pearl. Yeah.
Then there's also Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, which that's a Gen 1 remake, but they still technically count.
Okay. Addendum time. I would like to see some previous, not currently on the Switch, generations of Pokemon come to the Switch.
So
like
Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 5, Gen 6, Gen 7.
Yeah. Like, give us Johto. I'll even say Johto.
A lot of people have been screaming more Johto, so.
No, it's not surprising. I know Johto was an incredibly popular gen.
The game's going at least £100.
Oh, that'll do it.
Well, definitely for Soul Silver and Heart Gold.
Oh my god. £100? Yikes.
And then if you have more equipment on you, like the Pokewalker and the original box, even more.
Oh, joy.
Ain't it, Jeff?
Yeah, so please, Nintendo, for the love of God, bring some more Pokemon games to the Switch. Please.
They probably will. There's going to be at least one more out.
I hope so, and I'm hoping it's Red and Blue. Hopefully.
No, we've already had Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, therefore Red and Blue
Yeah.
off the table.
Which is a damn shame.
I mean, I'm personally hoping for a good remake of Pokemon Black and White.
Yeah. Now, Here's a question for you. Do you think the current generation of Switch consoles will see Generation 10?
That's a very good question. Let me put it this way. For the DS, they managed to get out Gen 3 and Gen 4. Gen 3,
Okay.
4 and Gen 5. For the 3DS, they had Gen 6 and Gen 7. So they had 2, but they technically released 3 games for that. They released 4 games for... let's say Gen 3 did get one for the DS eventually. They saw at least 3-4 games on the DS. They saw at least 3 games on the 3DS. They've got at least 4 games on the Switch now. And even with remakes, they still have enough time to bring something out.
Yeah. But I'm also factoring in the recent statement that the Game Freak are going to be slowing down the main releases.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to stop them altogether, which I can deal with.
True. It's like, I'm worried about how long after the Switch 2 comes out, or whatever it's going to be called, will the Switch itself stop being supported?
Think of it this way. It took until like 2 years ago, like 2 years, 3 years, for them to stop everything completely on the 3DS.
True.
With the some of the Pokemon exclusive features, such as like the Dream, such as the Dream World for Pokemon Black and White. Sorry, my throat's a bit going. But for the Dream World for Black and White, that lasted a couple of years because it was a good feature, but because it was so niche, it had to be shut down because because the website was changing. Because what it made you do was put a Pokemon to sleep. You go onto the Pokemon website, you get to play with it in the Dream World, and then you get to bring a Pokemon back with you. Which, if they finally brought that back, people are going to be so overjoyed. And because the internet like it is, you're able to keep that server up for longer. Because they were replacing it with they replaced it with Gen 6 stuff and then Gen 7 stuff.
Right. Okay.
So anything niche, that's when it starts tightening down on what it will keep and what it will chuck.
Right.
They should be able to bring one more out before they switch to a new console.
Okay. Right. Interesting. Okay. Like, I'm not sure, because I know that obviously the PS4 to PS5 and Xbox Series S and X from the Xbox One switch over happened pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, the PS4 to PS5, that only took 3 years to make the complete switch over. Because the PS5 was started production and being sold in 2020, and the PS4 kind of shut down this year. So that means whenever the Switch 2 releases, there's potential that the Switch itself might only last 3 more years for support-wise. Unless Nintendo goes nuts and shuts it down sooner.
Let me check when was the Switch released? That was at least
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Let me check when the shutdown for the 3DS service.
Okay.
For the Wii U and 3DS shutdown didn't take place like for all of it until 2023.
Yeah.
So Nintendo products tend to take a lot longer because they already know that their audience is still using their stuff.
Yeah.
So they will at least keep both sets of like consoles going for as long as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So, would you like to wrap this one up here unless you have anything else to talk about?
Now we can put a giant bow on it and call it Christmas.
Okie dokie. So, that's ow, my knuckles. That's gonna do it for this AstoundCast, guys. If you've enjoyed this, please click the like button and subscribe to mine and Roxanne's channels. Her link will be down in the description. My sub button will be just below the video title, and if you click the video title, that's where you'll head into the description. But please comment as well, because why the heck not? And let me know what you thought of the stream and what you thought about anything we've talked about tonight. Once you've done that too, please head back to the description to check out my link tree, which contains all my social media, as well as Roxanne's YouTube and website. And lastly, please share this stream with your friends so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And that'll be it for the stream, unless...
Random Pokemon fact for you. There is a Pokemon called Cryogonal. Cryogonal is genderless, but it can learn Attract, which is a move that is supposed to immobilize Pokemon of the opposite gender. If Cryogonal is to use this move, it will not work because there is no opposite gender to having none. So therefore, non-binary people are overpowered in this game.
Huh. Yeah, I can't lie. I was expecting you to say that it would work on both male and female Pokemon.
Nope, it doesn't work on either of them.
Ah, missed opportunity.
It'll say it fails.
Ah. Well then, on that little fact for you guys, I will see you all tomorrow with my Halo ranking video, and next weekend with another stream. Goodbye!